Hi everybody.
Hi.
We're the Pierogies.
I'm Jean-Luc.
I'm Nick.
And we're cooking
recipe.
again.
And today, what are we making?
We are making pierogies.
Yeah.
But not your regular potato stuffed pierogies. We are making stuffed cauliflower pierogies.
Exactly.
So removing the starch from your potatoes and adding cauliflower, which is 0 points. So the only thing in this recipe really that has any points today
is part of the filling.
Part of the filling, very minimal.
And the dough.
And the dough.
So today we'll be walking you through both recipes.
Exactly. So we're going to start off with showing you how to make your filling. So the first thing we're going to do, what you do, is you want to boil about a half to a full cauliflower, depending on how many pierogies you want to make.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how many we're going to be making tonight, but we had a small cauliflower, so we boiled the entire thing, and then I mashed it. But I didn't boil it. As you can see, I kind of riced it a little bit because we kind of like that chunky feeling inside of a pierogi. When you're eating that pierogi, your potatoes aren't always
fully mashed.
It's not a mashed potato, right? So that's what we do there. We like to add some spinach to our pierogies. So we're going to add some spinach to our mash mix. But what I'm going to start off is by sauteing some of the minced garlic, the Kirkland minced garlic. We love this stuff. We really started.
As you can tell, we
used a lot of it. And again, like we've been saying quite a bit, we've been shopping at Costco. So we like a lot of garlic. Put as much as you like.
Put 1 tablespoon right now.
Put a heaping tablespoon.
Yeah. Or you can put whatever you would like.
Yeah, put whatever you like.
The spices, as always, we like being free with our spices. We don't tend to measure them.
And all I'm doing in this pan though is I'm just sauteing spinach. I'm not doing anything else but sauteing spinach. So I want to get my garlic going just a little bit first. It's always good to get some of that garlic, flavor. Like that, it just flavors it more if you let it
fry a bit.
Fry a bit, exactly. That's the word I was looking for.
So I was like, are you trying to say something?
And then I'm just gonna grab a few handfuls of spinach.
This is just a regular baby spinach that you buy in a container. We bought it at Costco as well. So this allows. We like the fresh spinach because we use it a lot in salads and in our lunches and even our dinners sometimes, our stir fries. We always buy a lot of spinach because we tend to like having it on hand.
I don't know, it's one of the greeny, leafy greens that is just so easy to eat, I find. It has a great flavor. It's filling as well. Like it does cook down a lot, mind you. I will let you know that. So this will cook down to a point where you don't even barely see anything.
Yeah.
So we don't cook it down all the way.
No.
Because what happens is when you're mixing it up with your mashed cauliflower, it ends up, what's the word I'm looking for? It ends up cooking some more in there as well, right?
So while he's doing that, I'll show you guys some of the spices we use. So he's going to mix all these together in a bit, but I kind of want to walk you through each of them. So we have some parsley, just regular parsley. We have some garlic powder.
Our fan's going to start.
We also have roasted garlic and peppers from Clubhouse as well. And garlic plus. And if anybody's wondering where we got these sizes, we got them at Costco. And we also are using some Nordica smooth cottage cheese.
We found this?
We found this recently. We use it for a recipe that's also going to be airing eventually. And
it's cheap and it's really low in points.
Yeah, so a quarter cup is what we're going to be using today.
It's 1 point.
It's 1 point. So we're using that. So that's the first point that we have so far.
So I'm going to show you what the spinach looks like now that the spinach is cooked down. So basically that's what your spinach ends up looking like. So it's just sauteed spinach with garlic, and we love garlic, as you can see. All of our other spices have garlic in it as well.
And then the last ingredient that's going in the stuff in the actual insides is mozzarella cheese. So we're using Galbani pizza mozzarella light. It's 2 points for 30 grams, or a quarter of a cup. So we use this. We used half a cup, or 60 grams of this cheese inside the filling. So I'll let you continue with the filling, hun.
So now I'm going to start here. I've got the mashed cauliflower already in my pot, and this is the same pot that I boiled it in. I just strained it and put it back in and mashed it. And how I mash my cauliflower, I actually mash it with a potato masher. Plain and simple. Easy, and it's just quite easy to do. The more you boil it, the more mushy it gets, the more mashed it gets. So I'm going to add the spinach first. Make sure I get it all because, like I said, when you start wilting spinach in a frying pan, you don't get as much as you thought you did. Okay, so I add the spinach to that. I'm going to add the mozzarella cheese as well. I'm also going to add the smooth cottage cheese. Try to get as much of that as I possibly can because if you're pointing it out, you want to make sure you get all those points, right? Then I'm going to add some parsley flakes. Nick had already mentioned that to you. Oh, thanks, hon.
Oh,
yeah, we got splattered.
That's okay.
So I'm going to add some parsley flakes. gonna add a little bit of garlic powder. I know I already put some real garlic in there, but guess what? We like it garlicky. I'm not putting a lot now. Putting some roasted
cleaning crew.
roasted red pepper, garlic as well. And then just a little bit of garlic plus as well. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just taking my spoon and I'm stirring that together. Making this into my mixture.
So you can see already the cheese is melting.
The cheese is melting, but it's not melting to the point where it's like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like creamy, but you can still see there's cheese particles in there, which is great. And it smells delicious. I don't know.
So this is the stuffing. So what we'll do now is we'll pause. We're actually going to get ready for the actual dough.
Start making some dough.
And we'll come show you guys how we make the dough, and then we'll eventually show you guys how we actually cook them.
How we cook it?
So we'll see you in a bit.
See
Bye.
ya.
Everybody.
Hi,
So we're back.
and we are going to make some pierogi dough.
Yeah.
That
So-
sounds funny, pierogi dough.
Most of the time when you're making this recipe, we would recommend you make the pierogi dough first.
Yes.
Because you have to let it sit for an
For an hour.
So make the pierogi dough first, and then do your innards and your whatever you want to put inside.
Exactly.
Just
Or
make-
do it the other way, depending on how much time you have. If
Exactly.
you're making them ahead of time, you can do whatever way you want. But if you're trying to make this for dinner, and again, I would recommend doing this on a weekend. This is not a weeknight dinner
Yeah.
because it does take time.
And what actually the reason we're also doing this today is because you can actually freeze these.
Yes.
We made them before and froze them, and so what we did is after we made them, we actually created all these little different Ziploc containers, which each pierogi portion we
Yeah.
want to eat each time. And so every time we want a pierogi, it's
we
already
knew exactly
made.
how many points they
Yeah.
were.
So-
And we will tell you how many points they are when we're done.
Yeah, and we'll show you how we package
Well, we
them and all
can
that
tell
too.
them now.
Yeah.
It's basically your one pierogi is going to be approximately 1 point.
You can do 2 points if you want to be fair to the insides. What happens at the actual dough, each pierogi is 1 point for the dough, but the insides are 5 points for the entire inside. So if you split that to 38 pierogies, you're basically having no point per pierogi
Right.
for the inside. So you're basically doing 1 point per pierogi.
1 point per pierogi.
Yeah. So let's start making it.
So excellent. So the first
Oh,
thing
and a
we're
big
going to
caveat. So this is actually not our recipe.
Nope.
It's from Gourmet Magazine 2004 pierogi dough
Yes,
recipe.
and that pierogi dough recipe that we're using is only for the dough. We're not using the
Insides.
The inside.
Yeah, that
This
we're
is
making
just,
our own.
Yeah, that we made ourselves.
So I'll bring you over so you can see what Jean-Luc's doing.
So basically, what they're saying to do is take your flour. This is all-purpose flour. It's 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and you make basically a well in the middle. In this well, you add. I can't even crack it. You add 1 large egg. Okay. Add 1 large egg. Then you add a cup of water. Okay, so I'm gonna add a cup of water right on top of the egg. Okay. Then you add a teaspoon of salt. And you add 2 teaspoons of vegetable oil or olive oil. And the flour is the only thing, and the oil are the 2 only things that have points in here, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start mixing your egg and your water together and slowly start incorporating your flour.
So you probably want to start using a wooden
Yeah,
spoon.
eventually I'm gonna have to start using the wooden spoon because the fork won't work anymore. This is slowly gonna start creating a dough. You're gonna start seeing that this dough is forming, so I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna take that.
So I'm just put this down and angle this. There you go. Okay, so keep mixing.
I'm still mixing. As you keep mixing it together, your dough, your egg, your flour, and your salt and oil
They start to combine together.
start combining into this dough. And it is going to be a flaky dough. You have to remember, this is not like any type of other dough. This is a pierogi dough, right?
Yes, it's a different
So it's a
consistency.
very soft dough, I should say, not flaky. It's a very soft dough. But as it starts forming, as you can see, it's starting to become like a ball, right? Slowly but surely, it's turning into a ball, and eventually we're gonna have to knead it with our hands. So I'm gonna take this now. I'm gonna start taking all this out because I'm gonna start kneading this with my hands now a little bit. So I'm gonna remove this, put this there. Lost a little bit of dough. It now then always, like we always do, even when we make our pizza dough, we end up throwing a little bit of flour onto our surface. And our surface was already clean, just to let you know. So we did clean that surface prior. And so I'm adding a little bit of flour. And now I'm taking the dough that was in the bowl. And I'm going to start kneading it a little bit on the actual, on here. So that way we're going to knead it. Can you pull out the rolling pin?
Yep.
So I'm kneading this dough. As you can see, it makes a really nice dough. Like, this dough is so soft.
Mm-hmm. And so far, so like we said, there was 3 cups of flour, which is 36 points. And then it was 2 teaspoons of olive oil, which was 2 points. And then the rest of the ingredients, the water, the 1 cup of water was 0. The salt, the 1 teaspoon of salt was also 0. And the egg was 0. So the only points you have so far is 38. So we'll be actually splitting this dough into 38 equal parts.
Yep.
Now, for now, because we are just starting this, and like it says, after you've made the dough, you want
to let it sit for an hour. Yeah.
So we're going to grab a bowl that we have over here.
Yeah.
And all we're going to do is form a ball, put it back down on the
ball.
counter over the flour surface, and just cover it up. And then we'll let it sit there.
Yep, and we're going to let this sit for
an hour.
an hour. Oh my goodness.
And then we'll be back.
We'll be back in an hour, everybody.
Okay, see you guys in an hour.
Bye. So basically, we just waited the hour. I got all excited and I started rolling out some dough, and I didn't show you guys what the dough looked like, but you saw what the dough looked like underneath the bowl originally. So we left it there for an hour. It just sat there and it turned out to be this really nice soft dough.
Yeah.
I cut that into 2 portions. I floured my countertop, and then I started caking. Well, Nick actually is the one that I rolled it out as, I don't even know how thick it is, to be honest with you. Not too thick. Like, it's a pierogi dough, right? So you don't want it to be extremely thick. And then what we do is we take one of our water glasses, and I'll let Nick do this because this is what he
what I do
does.
is I go and I try to go as close to the edge as I can, and I basically make a circle. And you keep going like that.
And you make as many as you possibly can. So we had said originally we were trying to make 38, but we don't think we're going to end up making 38. So it's quite possible that we end up having 2 points or 1.5 points per pierogi. So 2 pierogies would be 3 points.
Yeah.
So 4 pierogies would be 6 points, which is still not bad when you're thinking about a pierogi, right?
And plus, the filling is 0, so you're kind of helping yourself by having a little less of, potato filling.
Exactly.
Since you have the cauliflower instead.
So what we're going to start doing is I'm going to show you actually what we do to fill the pierogies now as well.
So I'll keep doing this, and you show me how it goes.
So we do. You remember we had our mixture of cauliflower, spinach, broccoli, some creamed cottage cheese, and some mozzarella cheese, and then of course our spices. So now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and take a spoon, and we're not going to really measure. We're just going to be putting a little bit in. So we're going to take one of the pierogi doughs. We're going to take some of this cauliflower mix. Make sure you grab some cauliflower, some spinach, all of the shebang. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to fold it over and pinch the edges. And we're going to just pinch the edges. And then look at that. You have a pierogi.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, has you sneezing away while... So what I did is I finished the first bunch of dough. And I'm just rolling out the next set of pierogies. I'm not really good at this. This is usually what Jean-Luc does. But
Are you rolling?
yes, but I'm not good at it.
I love it. I think that's hilarious. Oh, you need more flour. Put a little bit more flour on the yeah. That's fantastic. Sorry guys, I sneezed. I don't know if I breathed in a little bit of flour or what, and I sneezed, and I didn't want to sneeze on the food, so I ran away and went and washed my hands after as well. So I'm gonna keep on stuffing these pierogies here. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to come back and show you guys how we boil them.
Yep, so
once again...
We'll cut here for now, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to finish stuffing this last one so they can see it. And there you go, another pierogi. And the more you squish, or the more you squeeze your dough together, the less likely it is to fall out when you're boiling them, right? So look at that. We have 2 perfectly sized pierogies right there. I don't know if you can see those, but I'm always looking. Where's the camera? There you go. So here we go. We're gonna cut right there. We're gonna finish stuffing our pierogies, and we'll show you how they boil in just a bit.
Okay, see you in a bit.
See you soon. See you soon.
Okay, so the pierogies are done.
All stuffed.
They
We
look like
made
this.
31.
So basically, because there's 31, the entire recipe is 38.
So
So
they can
38
see.
divided by 31. So it's about 1.5 per pierogi. So if you have 2 of them, it's 3 points.
3 points.
But again, if you're making the dough and you end up rolling out your dough even better, just take your full recipe,
And divide it by the amount of pierogies
pierogies
you're
you're making.
making. Yeah. So we already have some in our first batch in the water boiling, and they've been boiling now for quite some time. So what happens is you put them in the boiling water, and they're gonna go sink right to the bottom. And as soon as they're ready, they're gonna rise to the top.
And then you wait 5 minutes.
Let them sit there for 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then once you're done 5 minutes, you pull them out, you put them aside, and you do your next batch.
Yeah.
And once you're done all of them,
I'm
you
gonna
then
take some out here and
Yes.
show you what they look like.
So once you're done all of them, and you're ready to eat them. So what we do is when we make these is usually we freeze a bunch of them.
Right. So we're boiling all of them because we're gonna boil them. We're gonna freeze them practically made.
Yeah. Well, pretty much made. So what we do is we make all of them, and then we portion out what we would have per meal. So say we always have 6 pierogies per meal, so that no, not 6, 8. 8. So that would be 6 points each. Then we would put 8 pierogies per Ziploc freezer bag and then freeze them. And then they actually come out really good frozen. We've tried it before and they were really good when we froze them. Because remember, this is a big recipe, we're only 2 people. We don't want to eat all this is too much. So we try to do that in order to help us eat less and also still enjoy the pierogi.
And not only that way we can have pierogies more than once.
Exactly.
Like we
We
have
this
a
lasts
quick
for
dinner.
For a few weeks.
Or than
Yeah.
a long time.
And so when we cook them, so I kind of give you guys we're not going to cook them on this show today because we're just
Everybody
trying to
likes their
cook
pierogies differently.
So mine are usually cooked. We usually use turkey bacon
From True
from
Local.
True Local that we split. So usually I have 3 points worth of turkey bacon, and so does Jean-Luc.
Yep.
We split that into separate.
And what we do is normally instead of having our bacon as a side, we cut it up in a frying pan and then add spinach, bacon,
mushrooms, whatever
onions,
each want on our
plus
own.
the pierogies.
Plus the pierogi. So we add more vegetables because it helps us fill ourselves. So tonight we're actually gonna have pierogies with the turkey bacon, with our vegetables, like we were just saying, just fried in the frying pan, and we're gonna have some vegetables with them, and that'll be our dinner tonight. So hopefully you guys.
Hopefully you enjoyed some
the
pierogies,
recipe.
some cauliflower stuffed pierogies.
Yes. So if you guys try this recipe, post below. If you have other ideas for this recipe, let us know. If there's other maybe easier ways to make the dough, or if you have other ideas of how to stuff them
What to
with
stuff them with.
different types of vegetables. And if you try it and you actually make it and you have pictures, post it on social media. Use hashtag WWGays so we can see them.
Don't forget to check out our website, www.gays.com.
And you can find us on any social media using hashtag WWGays. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, just hit the subscribe below and hit the bell to be notified whenever we post something new. Thanks for watching.
Bye,
We'll
everybody.
See you later.
Enjoy. Can't wait to have some pierogies.
Me too. I am hungry.